All right, guys. So I didn't quite say this in the video that I did last, but I felt like it was only right that I do this. So for the video for top 5 mistakes that I did during my last season, it's got to be a part 2 to that. So this is the part 2 to the video. Um, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate everyone that's done that. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. Like I said, the channel's really growing, so I'm definitely thankful for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I felt like it was only right that I do a part 2 to that video as far as the top 5 things that I did. And this one is not really a top 5. It's not really anything like that. It's just one of the things that happened during 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019. You can take it on back as far as you want to take it. But one of the things that's really that I felt like messed me up last year, and honestly, it came into play in one tournament in particular. It really got to me, and that is my body and my health. So as you guys can see, I got on my Revital Outdoors shirt. I did sign up with Revital Outdoors after seeing a lot of really good things and a lot of things going on. I did sign up to become a part of their pro staff team. Huge shouts out to the guys at Revital Outdoors, man. They are really good about coming up with some stuff that really helps the anglers and everyone basically out there who wants to feel better and spend more time on the water, spend more time with your family, spend more time with your kids, play sports, whatever it is you want to do in your life. They are really good about getting products out that actually do that. So huge shouts out to them. But I will say this, a lot of times in my videos, you guys would always see me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm headed to this place, but, oh, my wrist hurts. Oh, but I could barely stand up this morning. Oh, but my leg hurts. Oh, but my ankle or I mean, take your pick, guys. There was something that seemed to be going wrong with me pretty much every tournament. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I don't travel and bass fish as much as some people might think I should, or as much as I may want to. I really don't want to. But I would want to if I felt better and I was in a better position. I think I would want to travel and do some things. But guys, the biggest thing, just taking care of your body, man. And I took care of it as best as I could all season long. But there were some days in an effort to try to just be the best and want to get this technique right and get that dialed right. I spent a lot of time working on certain things. And I do a job where I lift and move packages all day. Like, there's a lot of things that I do throughout my day that shouldn't affect me as bad as they do. So I had to keep going back to the doctor to and from, trying to figure out. A lot of times I sleep with a heating pack on. Sometimes I put some creams on my neck. I put some stuff on my back. You guys heard me mention my chiropractor before. I go to the chiropractor, Dr. Hepe. Huge shouts out to her. She's amazing. I also now recently started going to Collage Spa, which is also an area here in Fredericksburg, Virginia that I live in, FXBG. And getting massages as well. So things like that, man, really got to me. And one tournament in particular, I didn't put it in my vlog, but in Lake Murray, we were throwing those walking top waters. I had thrown it in the morning. I had thrown some finesse baits, things like that. But it got to a point where the bite was really a topwater bite in that day. It really was a topwater bite. You can go back and check the guy who I was fishing with, check his video out. You can see it was a topwater bite. But it was got into the day where my wrist, and you guys, it's always something with my wrist. So I switch hands. I mean, I can do whatever I can, but it's literally both wrists. And I think that's just a matter of time. I do play music for a living. I've been playing music since I was 10 years old. So these wrists have been in this position. I worked in a computer office for 18 years, doing stuff on the computer. So my wrists were in this position. They're in this position playing music. They're in this position playing, holding the fishing pole. They're in this position. I mean, my wrists, they've been through it a lot. So it takes a toll on you, especially when you do this much fishing as I do. I do a lot of fishing, like 5 days a week. I'll fish every day. And what I noticed I had to start doing is like taking it easy before the tournament. So I would take like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days off before the tournament so I could show up, so that my wrist wouldn't fall off while I'm fishing. And it got to one spot in that Lake Murray tournament where I couldn't work topwater anymore. And I told my boater, he's like, dude, they're killing the topwater. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, literally my wrists are going to hurt. And I was like, if I get home and I can't use my wrist when I need to play music in church, which is the most important thing to me, is being able to minister from the keyboard on Sunday mornings. I'm not going to risk that to try to twitch this bait around out here for something that's not the same deal, right? So I did it as much as I could. I pushed myself as hard as I could, but it got to a point where I couldn't do it no more. And obviously, you're in a tournament, you can't just not do the technique that's working. So I would throw out the drop shot, let it sit, and just hold my wrist like this. So I saved all my juice kind of like for the last hour and a half. I put my creams on. I put all my stuff on. And then I just went for it for that last hour and a half. And boy, I felt it when I got in my car. I felt it. But I managed to get that one fish that day. I managed to cash a check. It worked out great. It did end up working out great, but I could have got 2 fish. Could have got 3, could have got 4 if I could have worked the proper technique. So again, just recapping on the season, it went the way it was supposed to go. Things are supposed to happen the way they are, but sometimes things come up where it didn't have to go that way. It could have went a different way. The opportunity was there for it to go a different way. I couldn't get it to work. So whether that be having a hard time standing up, whether that be having my back burning so bad from these bumpy boat rides and getting knocked around and my neck's hurting. So basically, like when I get in the boat, after our first boat run, depending on how the boat driver drives, after our first boat run, when we pull up to our first spot, I have to immediately go in my bag. And before I grab any tackle, I have to grab my Revital Outdoors. Or what I was using before was like BioFreeze or something before I got hip to Revital. I'd have to get up, stand up, put the BioFreeze, Revital Outdoors all on my neck, all on my back, all that, then grab my pole, then start fishing so that I could at least have 45 minutes of being like pain-free and able to cast. That's how I would start my day. It got so bad it would be like that, and it shouldn't be like that. I'm trying to fish, right? Like, so I shouldn't have to do that just to get up and go fishing. Like that's not how fishing works. That's not how any sports work, but it is how sports work. Like if you actually put in work at this and you're not just sitting out there eating sandwiches and making like one cast and letting it sit for 10 minutes, if you're actually flipping and working jerk baits and all this, that, and the third, and you're making multiple casts, that type of thing, it can take a toll on you. So I will say that to everybody. I think Brent Chapman did a video about it. My encouragement to everyone else and to myself is just to take care of your body so that you can fish longer in your life. You can keep going. You can be a Rick Clunn. You can fish till you're 70, 75, 80 years old because you took care of your body. If you beat it up too bad trying to achieve a goal, by the time you get to 55, you're just going to spend all your time at the doctor because you ain't going to be able to function properly. Arthritis, carpal tunnel. I've had all of that stuff, or have had all that stuff. But even after saying all that, I do want to, of course, thank God for placing certain people in your life to tell you about certain things so that you can get better. Also, too, God can just take care of it. It's easy. There's been plenty of times I've been on the water, I've been twitching, my wrist is burning. All of a sudden, it's just not burning no more. And I'm like, thank you, God. I get my hour and a half, I get back in the car, and it's on fire. So then I just got to take care of myself then. But there's been plenty of times where there are things like that. So you just got, again, I stay encouraged. I encourage each and every one of you to stay encouraged. Keep working on your body. Take care of your body. Take the breaks when you need to take the breaks. Take the rest when you need to take the rest. If you're not catching them, feel free to sit down and eat a sandwich. Don't keep working your arm to death. And then, like I said, get to a point where you can't function. You can't use the things you need to use to be successful at fishing. So, hopefully this information helps. Like I said, I'm being a lot more transparent in the videos I'm doing now. I'm trying to share quite a bit more about what I'm doing, what helps me, what can help others, and also try not to be attacked by squirrels. They're all up in the tree. Keep hearing stuff behind me. I'm like, I ain't gonna get attacked. Trust me, I'm always ready for attack. Don't play around. But this stuff keep creeping up on me. It's usually a beaver or a squirrel. So, like I said, guys, as always, stay tuned. I appreciate you tuning in, and I got more videos coming. Stay tuned. Like I said, I haven't said, but I am shifting my channel a little bit away from always like catch a bass to start to give some information that I feel like can help everybody get into tournament fishing, improve in tournament fishing, improve at fishing in general. I'm trying to give some different stuff out here, guys. So I hope you guys are appreciative of this. Even if you're not, I really don't care. I'm still gonna make the videos, but I hope you guys appreciate me being transparent with my life and sharing with you some of the things that I do. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about money when it comes to fishing, all these things like that. But be sure to tune into my podcast, Co-Angler Chronicles. I'm gonna talk about everything on that. Some breakdowns, some numbers breakdowns, I'm gonna dig as deep as I can on that podcast, guys, with some special guests and all that. So be sure to tune in, the Co-Angler Chronicles. That's the podcast. Be sure to check that out. Also, like the page on Instagram right now. That way you can be alerted when the first video comes up, because I'm going to share everything out there first. So thanks again. Peace. I'll catch you guys on the next one.